Now at 5 a.m., this is WKYT This Morning. Investigators in Louisiana are trying to figure out what led up to the deadly attack on Baton Rouge police officers. We'll have the latest on the attack just ahead.
Law enforcement across the country mourning the loss of 3 Louisiana police officers. We'll hear from Kentucky officers on the deadly shooting.
And friends of a state trooper killed last year are planning a race in his memory. We'll have the details on that and all the morning's news here on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you. I'm Rebecca Smith.
I'm Bill Bryant. So good to have you with us on WKYT. Hope you had a real nice weekend and you're ready to go this week, which is going to be a hot one.
Yeah,
right?
that's what we're hearing. And let's get the latest on that from Micah.
Yeah, we're seeing those storms just to the north of us. They are heading our direction, and we'll start to see those during the morning hours, maybe around rush hour for some far northern zones in Kentucky. So we just got to keep in mind that some storms are on their way, and it's not your typical afternoon thunderstorm time. You'll get some during the morning hours. Temperatures are there in the 70s, couple of 60s. It's pretty humid outside, 90 degrees by the afternoon. Now that is if you do not see the rain. If you see the rain, you'll stay in the 80s, but those storms are in the forecast, and that is the breakdown. That's the focus as we start to see then active weather today and tomorrow. We're going to be going through the timing and also what you can expect out of these storms. That's coming up.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit, and let's get to the news. Families in Baton Rouge, Louisiana are once again mourning violence in their city. The victims this time were police officers.
Officers were targeted and killed less than 2 weeks after the officer involved shooting death, I should say, of Elton Sterling. Reed Binion has the latest.
We're in mourning right now. Anytime you lose an officer, but you lose 3 officers in one day at one time is just traumatic.
The police chief of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, voicing heartbreak in a city already rocked by tension and violence in recent weeks. 3 officers ambushed and murdered by a lone gunman Sunday.
We've had 6 officers that were shot today in East Baton Rouge Parish.
He wasn't all black. He was in black shorts or black shirt. He had a mask on and a gun in his hand.
Police identified the attacker as former Marine Gavin Long, a prolific social media user who recently tweeted a link apparently expressing support for Dallas shooter Micah Johnson. Long launched Sunday's attack on his 29th birthday, later dying in a shootout with police. The victims killed in Long's attack were identified as Officer Matthew Gerald, a Marine veteran, Deputy Brad Garofalo, a 24-year veteran of the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, and Officer Montrell Jackson, who on Facebook days earlier called for an end to hate in the wake of the officer-involved killing of Elton Sterling. Sterling's own family condemning Sunday's killings.
Now we have to grieve again, all over again, with the senseless murder. We don't call for no bloodshed. That's how this all started, with bloodshed.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Well, 2 other sheriff's deputies were injured in the shooting. Nicholas Tullier, an 18-year veteran, is in critical condition. Bruce Simmons, a 23-year veteran, is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Well, police departments across the country really on high alert and mourning the loss of the 3 officers in Louisiana.
Departments throughout central Kentucky posted messages on social media to remember their fellow officers. And WKYT's Mark Barber continues our top story team coverage. He's joining us live in Lexington. Mark.
Good morning, Bill. This morning, officers here in central Kentucky are grieving for those 3 officers who were shot and killed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Here in Lexington, police say that they've been receiving notes of appreciation for several days from people in the community. In a Facebook post, the police department said that this shooting is absolutely heartbreaking. They said, quote, "This job is not easy, but it's a career we choose because we care deeply about serving and protecting the city and its people." Just 10 days before the 3 officers were shot and killed in Louisiana, 5 officers were gunned down in Dallas. In Franklin County, the Sheriff Department is asking people to remember the families of the officers who died in these shootings. They posted a Bible verse from the book of Matthew on their Facebook page yesterday. It reads in part, quote, "Blessed are the peacemakers." The sheriff says that's what everyone in law enforcement wants to see right now. Peace. Peace within their communities and peace within the law departments that police those communities.
Our country right now is in a very, very ugly spot, and I never thought I'd see the day that it would come to it, that police officers and sheriff's deputies are being targeted.
Sheriff Pat Melton is asking his deputies to watch out for one another right now because there is so much unrest. However, he says it is very important to note that our area is not seeing these same issues that are dividing so many other areas of the country right now, causing those same sort of issues here at home. Live in downtown Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. State leaders are weighing in on the shooting in Baton Rouge as well. Senate Majority Leader and Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell released a statement saying this unjustifiable attack is not just an attack on law enforcement, it is an attack on the very principles that bind us as a nation. You can read his full statement right now on WKYT.com.
An American student is confirmed among the dead in last week's attack in Nice, France. The University of California, Berkeley said in a statement investigators identified the body of Nicholas Leslie. The 20-year-old was from Del Mar in the San Diego area. The school says 3 other UC Berkeley students were injured in the attack. All suffered broken bones.
Investigators in Georgia are still trying to figure out what caused a boat to flip, killing 4 Kentuckians. Divers on Lake Lanier found the bodies of Anthony Reese Jr. and Arthur McMahon early yesterday morning. They found the bodies of their wives, Tammy Reese and Melissa McMahon, on Saturday. The 2 couples were at the lake for a charity poker run when the accident happened. The Reeses were from Adair County, and their funeral arrangements are still pending this morning. And this story now.
The McMahons were from Bullitt County. Their children have released a statement saying our parents meant the world to us. We never realized how much impact they had on people's lives. The statement goes on to say they were one of a kind and will be truly missed. Thank you again for your continued prayers.
Deputies will soon be escorting a man charged in connection with a murder over the weekend back to Taylor County. Campbellsville police say Rocky Ashby shot and killed a woman and stole a red pickup truck. They arrested Ashby in Shelby County. We talked to deputies at the jail and they say they are waiting for Taylor County investigators to pick up Ashby. Campbellsville police also found the stolen truck. They also recovered a lawnmower and tools that were inside the truck.
State police are investigating a deadly ATV crash in southeastern Kentucky. Troopers say 4 people were riding an ATV in the Cary community in Knott County. They say the ATV crashed, 2 people flew off, and that the ATV landed on top of them. The Knott County coroner says Anthony Singleton and Billy Breeding died. Breeding worked at the Feisty Volunteer Fire Department. Another person went to a nearby hospital. The 4th was not injured.
Well, Jessamine County is getting a new youth facility.
The Kentucky United Methodist Homes for Children and Youth will start working on the facility today. WKYT's Mike Byer is live in Nicholasville with details on the project. Good morning.
The groundbreaking ceremony for the new youth center takes place at 10 this morning. The ceremony will feature several guest speakers, including Attorney General Andy Beshear, as well as United Methodist Bishop Lindsey Davis. The $15 million campus will be located at 1115 Ash Grove Road in Nicholasville. The facility is for abused, neglected, and abandoned children. The new campus will feature a state-of-the-art program building, paddocks for equine therapy, and an on-campus learning facility staffed by Jessamine County's renowned alternative school educators. Now, once again, that groundbreaking ceremony set for 10 a.m. this morning. Live in Jessamine County, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Well, friends of a state trooper killed last year are planning a race in his memory. Trooper Eric Chrisman was out on his way to Iraq when he died in a crash. Chrisman was from Anderson County. Friends there have found a way to keep his generous spirit alive. They'll be holding a 5K memorial race this September. The money raised from the race will go to Trooper Island and to a scholarship fund set up in Chrisman's name at his old high school.
Eric was a graduate of Western Kentucky, and he was very proud of that, and that college degree meant a lot to him, and so this will help somebody here at Cal reach that same goal.
Registration for the race is open. If you sign up before August 5th, the cost is $30 for adults and just $20 for police officers and kids 13 and younger.
Well, it's good to have you along with us here on this Monday morning as you get over the weekend, get ready to go on this brand new week. Our time this morning is 5:09.
You may watch what you eat, but do you watch what your pet eats as well? We'll have more on why you should, maybe, ahead on WKYT this morning.
And also ahead on WKYT, some kids in Utah got to have some fun battling Star Wars characters in a game of laser tag. We'll have that story coming up after Micah's forecast.
We have some storms heading our direction. This is going to cause some problems during the morning hours, and we're going to get into those problems. We're going to help you kind of work around those. Coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
73 right now in Lexington. It's pretty humid as you walk out the door early this morning, but the good news here is we have no rain in the forecast right now. That's going to change in the upcoming hours. I promise you that as we're looking northbound. Like I said, it's pretty calm this morning, but look north into Indianapolis, go off toward Columbus, Ohio, and here come some storms heading our direction. These storms will be barreling through right around that 7, 8, 9 a.m. time frame. Far northern zones and then slide southbound. So the breakdown on the timing on this, if you're planning on heading out in the next couple of hours, far northern Kentucky, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then you get around the I-64 corridor. This is the timing on it if the trends continue. Around the I-64 corridor, which does include Lexington, I'd say anywhere from 10 a.m. to about noontime. So we have a little bit of time here toward Lexington in the bluegrass, and then it situates itself southbound. The farther south it goes, actually the better likelihood of it falling apart. As you can see, the marginal risk is for virtually everybody except far southern Kentucky. And that marginal risk means this. This is the slightest chance of strong to severe storms that we have from the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center over in Norman, Oklahoma. So the thing with this is mainly strong storms, but we can't rule out a stray severe cell. Damaging winds will be the main threat with those stray cells. So let's break down the timing of it. Like I said, 7 to 9 a.m. far northern Kentucky, and that's the 10%. The other 90% are actually dry. 90% of us at that time, I don't see much going on. But then we head toward noontime, and those storms do pick up. We'll be there around 90 degrees, especially if you do not see rain there by 5 p.m. And the scattered showers and thunderstorms will be with us. And remember, this is hit and miss. Not everybody sees the rain today, but if you do, it's going to be heavy downpours, also a lot of lightning. That'll take you off into the evening. I believe by the evening hours into the night, it really just fades away. It's not really a good chance of rain during that time. It's mainly that afternoon hour or really late morning, early afternoon that you start to see these storms move on through. And that's not only for today, but for tomorrow too. These aren't great chances of rain, but they're pretty decent shots, anywhere from 40 to 60% chance. Tomorrow, there's your 40% chance of hit and miss storms. Then we head off towards your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday off into Sunday. There aren't great chances of rain. Can't rule it out, but look at those temperatures really jumping. We'll be at 91 degrees on Thursday, 92 on Friday. And if that doesn't sound warm enough, how about throwing a 93 on Saturday? So, man, we have some really warm air heading our direction. We haven't seen a string of days like this in quite some time. You have to date back toward last year. So there's some warm air heading our direction. Hot, humid, here it comes.
It's
all
July.
The way through the work week.
Summer in all its facets,
That's
right, this
right.
week. Micah,
Yeah.
thank you. 5:15, our time right now.
Well, kids of deployed soldiers got to take on the dark side and try their hands at Star Wars.
They had some fun. The event was a day of play to remind some Utah children that they are not alone, even though their parents might be overseas. The kids got to play laser tag with what appeared to be real-life stormtroopers, Darth Vader, and more. And those who went say that these little get-togethers lift everybody up and remind military families that they have the community's support behind them. Good deal.
Yes,
All right.
good deal.
It's good to have you with us. 5:16 now on WKYT on your Monday morning.
We have a look at your money. Stay with us.
WKYT software program will no longer be free, and how owners are making sure their pets eat healthier. I'm Karina Mitchell with those stories coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back into WKYT this morning here on your Monday. It's the 18th of July and it is 5:19. If you own Microsoft products, your software updates may start costing you money.
And some pet owners are making sure their pups are eating healthy. Karina Mitchell has the latest on your money.
Investors hope stocks will rally after ending the trading week mixed. The Dow added 10 points while the Nasdaq dropped 4. Microsoft says it won't meet its own goal of getting Windows 10 on 1 billion devices by 2018. The company blames its decision to scale back production of its smartphones over the last year. It will also stop providing the upgrade for free. As of the end of July, it will cost $119. And in what may be a sign of things to come, driving tests in the UK will now require everyone to use a satellite navigation system in order to get a license. The government wants to make sure people can handle distractions and manage risks. And people aren't just watching what they eat, they're making sure their best friends are also eating their vegetables. Ingredients like avocado, kale, and free-range poultry are showing up in pricey premium dog food, which made up nearly half of recent dog food sales. And that's your Money Watch. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. In New York, I'm Karina Mitchell.
All right, avocado for your dogs, okay? 5:21 now. Parents, if you have little ones, you may want to check this one out. IKEA is recalling 80,000 baby gates. The Consumer Product Safety Commission said the gates can unlock themselves and lead to falls.
Well, the recalled gates include the Patrol Safety Gate and Extension, the Patrol Fast Safety Gate, and the Patrol Clamma Safety Gate and Extension. IKEA advises customers to stop using them and return them for a full refund.
And it's something certainly you want to take care of if you have that in your home. 5:21 now, WKYT This Morning with a lot more news coming up on your Monday.
And sports is up next.
A Kentuckian finishes near the top of the leaderboard at the British Open, and Tyler Eulis plays his final game of the NBA Summer League. We'll have the highlights for you next in sports.
Indianapolis getting drilled by these thunderstorms as they travel southbound. So they're in Indianapolis right now. They'll actually end up in our far northern portions of Kentucky here in the next couple of hours. I expect them right around 7 to 8 a.m. far northern Kentucky and then slide southbound. Nothing going on right now. There's some good news. 72 degrees. Right now in Richmond and Madison County, 73. It's pretty sticky outside here in Lexington as you walk out the door. And as we go through the day, the better the chances of rain will be with us. So just keep in mind, it's about a 60%. Not everybody sees rain, but it is hit and miss. And if you do get hit by one of these, heavy rain and also a lot of lightning will be involved. Let's check out sports, see what's going on.
Kentuckian J.B. Holmes turned in his best ever finish in a major on Sunday. The former UK golfer finished third in the final round of the Open Championship, but many will only remember the epic duel between Henrik Stenson and Phil Mickelson. The pair entered Sunday's final round a touchdown ahead of the rest of the field. Holmes had 4 birdies in his final round. His worst hole was 15, where he actually almost delivered a beautiful chip shot that goes in the hole, just past it, however. He would double bogey that hole. Second hole, this is Phil Mickelson. Tough chip shot. Almost finds its home, just slips out. He would save par. Stenson birdied. Both were at 12 under par. 15th hole, Stenson had his putter going from 51 feet away. The birdie to move to 18 under. Then on 18, Stenson with a 2-stroke lead, and he has this putt for birdie. Why not? He sinks it to win by 3 shots at -20, his first major championship. Mickelson finishes in second at 17 under par. J.B. Holmes shoots a final round of 69 for a distant third place. Well, on Saturday, Tyler Eulis was the hero, hitting the game-winning 3-pointer in overtime, advancing his Suns to the NBA Summer League playoffs. Last night, Eulis and the Suns met up with the Timberwolves in the Summer League semifinals. Fourth quarter, Eulis gets the step-back jumper to go. However, he would struggle a bit from the field last night, just 5 for 21. Suns down by 11 with a minute to play in the fourth quarter. Eulis knocks it down from the left elbow, and then on the break, Eulis firing from the left wing for 3. That brought Phoenix to within 6, but that's as close as they would get. Minnesota wins 93-83. Tyler finished with 11 points and 7 assists in his final Summer League game. However, he has turned the heads and impressed many, both NBA coaches and his peers, over the last week in Las Vegas. That does it for this morning edition of sports. Have a great day.